What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the next match day for this weekend, July 29th through the 31st. Pretty good games last week, some big news. So let's go ahead. Well, first off, let's start off with thank you all so much. We hit 200 subscribers. Now let's hit that 300 mark. I greatly appreciate everything that you guys do. I love everyone that comments on the videos. Thank you for that. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, let's just keep moving forward. I'm glad that you guys are liking the content. Also, if there's something that you think that I should change up, please comment down below and let me know. Second of all, Castellano no longer in the MLS. I don't like it. I don't like that he left. He was doing so good, and it's in the middle of the season. I think that he should have stuck it out, but I just found out this morning that he did make a debut goal for his new team there in La Liga, so that's pretty cool on his part. And lastly, big shout out to Sacramento Republic FC for making it to the U.S. Open Cup final, upsetting Sporting Kansas City. So that's pretty awesome. I will probably be cheering for them just because they are a non-MLS team. They are the first MLS team, non-MLS team since 2008, Charleston Battery, to make it to the final. So that is pretty cool. So enough of that, though. Let's jump into the games here. First up, we have LAFC versus Seattle Sounders on Friday. Currently, LAFC are 4 wins and a loss in the last 5. And Seattle are 2 wins and 3 losses in the last 5. They did win over the weekend to end that 3-game losing streak for themselves there. Currently, LAFC is first in the table and Seattle is 9th. Seattle has not scored 2 away matches, their last 2 away matches. So that's something to take into consideration. And they did play against Colorado Rapid last week, so that's not a huge win in my eye, even though that they're probably around them in the table. Yeah, so they're 12th. So anyway, back to this. I think that LA get this done pretty, I guess not pretty easy, but I do think that they'll win this game 2-1 over Seattle there in LA. So next up, we have Minnesota United versus the Portland Timbers. Both teams are doing pretty well right now, which is awesome. Currently, Minnesota United are 4 wins and a draw in the last 5, and the Portland Timbers are 3 wins and 2 draws in the last 5. Minnesota is sitting 3rd in the table, and Portland is sitting 8th, just outside of a playoff spot. Currently, though, Minnesota is unbeaten in the last 4 home games, and they haven't lost in 7 matches, so that's pretty cool too. And on the other hand, Timbers the same way. They have not lost in the last 7 matches. This is going to be a tough one. The last time that these two teams played, it was in Portland, and the Timbers did win 3-1. And the last time that they played in Minnesota, it was a 2-1 victory for Minnesota. That was back a year ago on July 24th, 2021. With that being said, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, and I think that Minnesota gets the shutout here. I think that they win 1-0 over Portland. They're at home. I just think that Minnesota is very strong at home. Like I said, they're unbeaten in the last 4 games there. I think that they will continue that streak against Portland. Moving on to our second game on Saturday, we have Chicago Fire versus Atlanta United. Currently, Chicago are 3 wins and 2 losses in the last 5. Atlanta, 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses. Chicago is sitting 9th in the table, and Atlanta United, unfortunately, is sitting in 12th in the table. Chicago Fire and Atlanta have not drawn any of their last 11 matches against each other. It's one team or the other. Chicago has 5 wins. Atlanta has 6 wins in this matchup. Atlanta have not kept a clean sheet in the last 7 games. They are at Soldier Field. Chicago has done, they're on a 3-game win streak right now. That's pretty good. They might continue this. They might continue their win streak. I think that they will beat, I hate to say this because I want Atlanta to win. I want Atlanta to do well. I think a lot of things have to change for Atlanta to start winning, but I want to say Chicago wins this game 2-1. I think that they will beat Atlanta 2-1 there at Soldier Field. Next up, we have Charlotte FC versus Columbus Crew there at Bank of America Stadium. Currently, Charlotte are 3 wins and 2 losses in the last 5. Columbus on a pretty good streak here, a non-losing streak, 2 wins and 3 draws in the last 5. Columbus is currently sitting 6th in the table. Charlotte is sitting 8th, just outside of the playoffs. These two teams have only played each other once. It ended up in a 1-1 draw in Columbus back in June. Charlotte haven't kept a clean sheet in the last 8 matches. Columbus Crew, though, are unbeaten in the last 5 away matches and haven't lost in their last 9. So Columbus is on a pretty good run here. And I think that they might continue doing well. I don't think that they will win this game. I actually believe this game will probably end up in a draw. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Last week, Columbus tied with New England Rev 0-0, and Charlotte went to Toronto and got destroyed 4-0. So I think that it will be a low-scoring game, though. 1-1 there at Bank of America Stadium. So moving right along, we have CF Montreal versus NYCFC. Currently, Montreal are 3 wins and 2 losses in the last 5, and New York is 4 wins and a draw in the last 5. New York are currently 2nd in the table, and Montreal are 4th. So this is going to be a good matchup, even though Castellanos is no longer in New York. I think it's going to make a big difference. I think that they will start to lose some games. Yes, I know that it's only one player, but he was such a major part of their offense and just their team as a leader. I think it's going to hurt them. Montreal have scored 6 goals in their last 5 games. New York has kept the most clean sheets this year with 11 in all competitions, but I don't think that they get a clean sheet here. I think that this is going to be a good game, but I believe Montreal are going to win this at home. And it might be a 1-0 win for them. So they'll be getting the clean sheet. I'm going to go 1-0 here, Montreal. Again, I think with I know that NYCFC has some more. They do have some other playmakers, but I just think Castellanos is such a huge part of their team, and they're playing against a very strong Montreal side. I think that Montreal win this game. So 1-0. For Montreal. Moving right along, we have Philadelphia Union versus Houston Dynamo. Currently, the Union are 4 wins and a draw in the last 5, and Houston are 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses in the last 5. The Union are number 1 in the East there, whereas Houston, I think, is 11th. Yes, they are 11th in the West. I think this is going to be a pretty easy game for the Union. Houston is just in shambles right now, not doing very well. Union are unbeaten in the last 11 home games there at Subaru Park, and Houston haven't kept a clean sheet in the last 6 matches. So I am actually going to say that this is going to be a big win. I think I'm going to go out and say that Union win this game 3-0 there at home against Houston. Next up, we have Inter Miami versus FC Cincinnati. Currently, Inter Miami have kind of went on a losing streak. They turned it around there for a little bit, and now they are back to where they were at the beginning of the season. Currently, they are 1 win and 4 losses in the last 5. FC Cincinnati, 4 draws and a loss in their last 5. Currently, FC Cincinnati are 7th in the table, where Inter Miami is 11th. So Cincinnati is sitting in a playoff spot, which I really hope that they make it to the playoffs. I think that they're just doing really well. I did watch part of their game last week against Nashville. I got to see the Vasquez header. It was pretty nice how it all worked out for them there to score their goal. Currently, though, Miami have not scored in their last 2 matches. So this is going to be hard because they are in Miami. But I think that FC Cincinnati will go down to Miami and get the job done. I think that they win this game 2-1 there in Miami. Next up, we have Nashville Sc versus Vancouver Whitecaps. Nashville are currently 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in the last 5. And the Whitecaps are 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in the last 5 currently. These two teams have not played against each other yet. And Nashville are 6th in the table, and Vancouver are 10th in the table. Vancouver has not kept a clean sheet in the last 5 matches. I'm hoping that, I think Mukhtar was out last week against Fc Cincinnati, if I remember correctly. Hopefully he comes back in and makes an impact. They need to start winning at home. I know that they're in a playoff spot. Obviously that's my team in the West. I don't keep up with them as much as I do Atlanta. But I will say I want these guys to win. I think that they will win this game against the Whitecaps 2-0. Next up, we have the New England Revolution versus Toronto FC. The Revs are currently 3 draws and 2 losses in the last 5. Toronto are 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses in the last 5. The Revs are 10th in the table. Toronto are 13th. So it's going to be a close matchup in the sense of the table. These two teams against each other is the Revs have 10 wins. There's 8 draws between them. Toronto has 8 wins. Revs have not won a match in their last 5 attempts, which you could get that with me saying that they are 3 draws and 2 losses in the last 5. They are at home at Gillette Stadium. This is going to be a tough one for me. I think it will actually end up in a draw. I'm going to say that it's going to be a 2-2 draw there at Gillette Stadium. Next up, we have Sporting Kansas City versus Austin FC. Currently, Sporting are 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses in the last 5. And Austin FC are 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in the last 5. Their last game against the Red Bull was a pretty good game. They lost 4-3 though, but it was a lot of goals. I mean, 7 goals, that's a good bit. Currently, Austin are 2nd in the table, and Sporting Kansas City are sitting last. These two teams are 1-1-1 against each other. Sporting have not kept a clean sheet in their last 3 matches. They haven't scored in our last 2 home matches. It's very sad. And Austin ranks 2nd away wins. So I think that Austin will get this done. I think that they'll probably get it done pretty easily against Sporting. But I'm going to say we're going to go with 3-1 there for Austin. I think that they'll put up a 3 goals again against Sporting Kansas City. In Sporting's last game, they lost against Sacramento in Sacramento Republic in PKs for the U.S. Open Cup. So yeah, I think that Austin's just too good of a team against them. Next up, we have FC Dallas versus LA Galaxy. Currently, Dallas are 1 win, 3 draws, and a loss in the last 5. LA Galaxy are 2 wins and 3 losses in the last 5. Currently, Dallas are 5th in the table, and LA are 7th in the table. So both teams currently are in the playoffs as we speak. Ferreira now has 12 goals, so I hope that he keeps it up because I'm pretty sure he had the goal there against Real Salt Lake last week. Dallas, though, have not won a home game in their last 5 matches. I want to say, though, that they get this done. I think that that road win against Real Salt Lake was a big win, and I think that they'll continue it. It's going to be a low-scoring one, though. I think that it'll be a 1-0 victory for them there at Toyota Stadium. So that takes us to our last game on Saturday. We have San Jose Earthquake versus Real Salt Lake. Currently, the Earthquakes are 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses in the last 5, and Real Salt Lake are 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses in the last 5. So they've kind of fallen down a little bit. They are currently 4th in the table, and the Earthquake are 13th in the table. The Earthquake have not kept a clean sheet in the last 7 matches. They are playing at PayPal Park. With how Real Salt Lake are struggling, I think I'm going to go with an upset here. I think that San Jose win this game. Let's go with 3-2. We're going to say 3-2 for the Earthquakes. They're going to get some revenge on Real Salt Lake because Real Salt Lake won the last game in June against them. So that leads us to the final game of the weekend, and it is DC United versus Orlando City. Currently, DC are 1 draw and 4 losses in the last 5, sitting 14th in the table, where Orlando City are 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses in the last 5, and they are currently sitting 5th in the table. These two teams against each other are 7-1-7. DC United have not won in the last 5 matches. They have not kept a clean sheet in the last 13 matches, so they've been scored on at least 13 times in the last 13 games. That's a terrible stat. Like, why? Come on. I mean, I know that it's hard to keep shutouts, but man, 13 game span, that's pretty bad. And then Orlando, though, they haven't won an away match in the last 5, so this is going to be a good game. I think it's going to end up in a draw. I think there's going to be a lot of draws this weekend, I feel like. But I think that it's going to be a 2-2 draw there at Audi Field. So that will do it for this weekend's games. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I'm sorry I sound very raspy. I've been sick for the last week. It's not been fun, so thank you for sticking out the video with me sounding like this. But thank you all again for hitting the 200 subscriber mark. So let's get there to that 300. And again, thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time.